Step in the ring, feel the adrenaline rush, throwing fists and kicks, the pain we can't hush, and then they fight us. We're the real tough guys, breaking down barriers, we aim for the skies. Into the octagon, like a warrior I stand, slaying blows, taking hits as I command. The art of combat, I'm ready to go. Submission, knockout, that's how I flow. Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling with might, the golden octagon. The stage we ignite. Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling might, the golden octagon. The stage we ignite.
And we are live. Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast with your hosts, Matt and D Rose.
And what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. My name is Matt. D Rose is on that side of your screen, and we got some fights to talk about for this upcoming weekend. It's going to be UFC 307 in Salt Lake City, Utah. Going to be Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree Jr. Should be an interesting pay-per-view. I have a lot of very strong reads for the card, so I don't know if I'm too confident or if me coming off 2 losing weekends, I should be this confident. But I'm confident on these fights this weekend. But before we get to that, we got some UFC fight news and announcements to go over. Unfortunately, I have to eat some beans, and there's a mosquito or a gnat in
trifecta.
here. And then, clean sweep. And then starting the show off, me and D Rose is going to recap this past weekend's UFC in Paris. I did terrible, to be honest, on that card, as I have to eat 3 beans, but I'm not going to pretend like I did a ton of research on that card last week because I was on vacation. But before we get into it, let's shout out the chat real quick. Not too many in here today. It looks like people, not in here today. Here we go. We got Lush Lemaine in here with another Golden Wednesday with the boys. Shout out Lush for stopping by here tonight. I appreciate you, Lush. We got Dave with the greetings, Earthlings. Shout out Dave for stopping by. We got Chase Sharp in here with the A. And then we got Tim saying, I put 250 on Peloton first round KO. Wow, that is brave of you, Tim, but not impossible. But with
hopefully it's all house money and not something that you personally donated.
Yeah. And then we got Ben saying Peloton via homicide. That's probably the way I'm leaning, Ben. I don't know if it happens first round, but that's we'll talk about it. Shama, no Shama. So with that being said, D-Rose, how have you been over the past, I guess, two weeks? We hadn't been on here in a few weeks, man. I've been on vacation and such. How you been?
Yeah, obviously you've been enjoying yourself in the nice beaches in Jamaica, as us peasants just back here just enjoying the hurricane washing through and man, ended up knocking a tree down in my yard and all this stuff. So I mean, not of course other places got hit worse than us, but we got hit pretty freaking hard with that crap, man. but always coming off of a week where we don't do one. Like it feels like that it's been like forever since we actually been back here. So good to get back into the swing of things and to come back to being the pig champ as well. Gotta like that.
Well, congratulations on that. I'm not going to pretend like I'm stoked about it, but it is what it is. But with that being said, let's get into our UFC Paris recap. I always never have this part pulled up. This is the part I don't ever have pulled up. So we'll get into it. UFC Paris main event, Renato Moicano, BSD. In my opinion, dude, I don't know who's going to beat Renato Moicano at this point, dude. It's like he's probably going to fight for the title at some point in the next 2 years. I don't know if he beats Islam, but Jesus Christ, dude, Manny Moicano is on a tear right now. I think that's six fights in a row, undefeated streak, something like that. So
5 stoppages as well.
Yeah. Renato Moicano is on a tear right now. I'm not going to bet against them anymore. So with that being said, his next fight, when I bet on him, he's probably going to lose that. I was laughing at the comment that he had after the fight that he was calling Dan Hooker a turtle in a tree, having like a number 5 like ranking spot, because that's hilarious. But yeah, co-main event, Nasruddin Imavov, Brendan Allen, dude. I did not think this fight was going to go all 3 rounds, and if it did go all 3 rounds, I thought Brendan Allen was going to be the one to win because he controlled Imavov the whole time. Somehow Imavov wins a decision by basically boxing Brendan Allen up the whole time, but not knocking him out. So that was surprising because I just didn't think Brendan Allen was going to last 3 rounds on the feet like with Imavov and not get knocked out, and vice versa. Could Imavov survive on the ground, not get choked out? Close a few times, but it didn't happen. The absolute robbery of the night, and which makes me have to eat 3 beans this week, was William Gomi versus Joe Anderson Brito. Yeah, I had Joe Anderson Brito winning that fight. I don't know what else to say. I know a lot of other people did as well. Anyway, Brian Battle, Kevin Jusay. Brian Battle comes out there and beats the brakes off of Kevin Jusay in Paris and then drops the quote, "Y'all didn't think I was going to lose to a French dude." That's hilarious. Anyway, Morgan Charrier, Gabriel Miranda. This probably should have been my only bet on this entire card, and I probably should have just put like $10 on this one prop. It was Morgan Charrier round 2 knockout. It was like plus 350, and I had it parlayed up. I just didn't have it bet straight, and that's why I'm like, I'm an idiot, because this would have made me quite a bit of money this past weekend. But yeah, I had it parlayed up, and yeah, Gabriel Miranda's ass. He has not even a full round of gas, maybe 3 minutes of gas, doing what he wants to do. So he wants to get you down and grapple you. Usually, if the fight is going the fighter's way, they're not going to get tired, for at least 2.5 rounds. But Gabriel Miranda will grapple you, do what he wants to do for 3 minutes, and be gassed. So, just something to look out for in the future if Gabriel Miranda even has a spot left on the UFC roster. Yeah, he's just ass, and always bet his round 2 for him to get knocked out. That's what's going to happen. Anyway, Faraz ZM, Matt Favola. This was a tough one to watch, not going to lie. I was really going for Steamroller, but this was an eye-opener at the same time, because I think I still look at the Smile Killer as when he first came into the UFC. He just got smoked by T-Rex. He didn't really have man muscles, and seeing him at the weigh-ins on Friday, I was just like, damn, this is not going to go well. And sure enough, with basically a minute and some change left, Faraz ZM snoozes Matt Favola with a knee in the 3rd round. And on our prelims in Paris, we had Iwan Kutalaba, Ivan Ursulan. I'm not even going to talk about that fight. That shit sucked. We had Umar Sy, Da Jung. Yeah, that one lost a bunch for me because I had Umar Sy to finish Da Jung because he's not good. But Umar Sy is still undefeated, 11-0. Ludovic Klein, Roosevelt Roberts. I'm sure I lost something on that one too, because I know I had Ludovic Klein to finish Roosevelt Roberts, but Ludovic Klein just beat Roosevelt Robert up all 3 rounds. Maybe competitive, maybe in the 3rd round a little bit. Taylor Lapilus, Vince Morales. Taylor Lapilus just does what Taylor Lapilus does in his fights. Alien Perez, Alien Perez. That's all I have to say for the most part. After this, she kind of was. Did she fake miss weight on Friday? I don't know what that was, but shout out Alien Perez. Do your thing, girl. Anyway, Daniel Barres, Victor Altamirano. Daniel Barres could have basically finished Victor Altamirano every single one of those rounds, I think. Jacqueline Cavalcante versus Nora Cornell. That went exactly how I thought it was going to go. And Chris Duncan gets a first-round guillotine over Balaji Oki. And that was an odd one because he pulled out of the guillotine, went back down, and then it's like he was out after he was just getting punched, and he's like, wait a minute, he's out. He's out. Just an odd finish. But my Paris predictions were not the greatest, I'm going to be honest. But as I said, I didn't do any research last week. It was just basically went off what I know about the fighters and, how I felt for the most part. And I was just wrong. So with that being said, I will be eating beans here in a few minutes. What do you think about UFC Paris, Theros?
So I was working while the card was going on, so I did have to go back and watch most of the fights. So I watched some of the prelims, watched most of the main card. Yeah, bro. That whole tree gone, man. That could have been my house, you just never know. But no, dude, that when I remember when we had said on here that Renato Moicano and BSD was going to fight, and I had even said then that I was like, man, I just really like that matchup for Moicano because one, the grappling. I didn't think that BSD was going to be able to have an advantage there, and BSD is kind of sloppy on the feet a little bit. And not to say that Renato Moicano is the best striker, but he's basic, so he's super technical. Like it comes to boxing, good with the 1-2s and stuff like that. But man, that ground and pound is just absolutely brutal. Completely shut BSD's eye, so his eye was shut, and on top of the swelling, there was a cut on top of the swelling that was on top of his eye, dude. So yeah, for people who were saying that, bad stoppage or whatever, like, no, that's crazy, because that was absolutely a good stoppage because, with the way that eye was closed and the doctor goes to cover BSD's eye up, and when he's starting to move he covers up the good eye as he's moving his finger, and BSD's like, okay, I can't see it. The doctor's like, okay, I have to stop it. You can't see, so I had to stop the fight. So I thought that was a good stoppage there. I did think that I wanted to go Nasruddin Imavov in the co-main, but I didn't feel super confident. But this is the guy that you was pretty high on, early on in the UFC, and I think really after that Strickland loss, I think a lot of people really tended to hop off the hype train there, and then he had the weird result against Chris Curtis, but he's really bounced back. Super sharp striking. His takedown defense has gotten better and better as he's gone along. And even though he did get taken down a couple times in this fight, he was still able to, fight back up to his feet and keep it standing for the most part. And, keep it where, obviously he was going to dominate the fight against Brendan Allen, and that was on the feet. Brendan Allen completely gassed out. And Imavov took over later on in the fight and won that. So it's a good win for him. William Gomi and Joe Anderson Brito. I mean, it could have went either way. Honestly, had they said Joe Anderson Brito, I wouldn't have been mad. I thought Gomi won rounds 1 and 3, but I did think both rounds 2 and 3 were very close. I thought Gomi clearly won round 1, and rounds 2 and 3. I just thought they were so close because Joe Anderson Brito was walking forward with the pressure, but Gomi was using the footwork a lot, and then. Joe Anderson Brito got the takedown a couple times, so really tough fight to score, but that did end up getting me the clean sweep, so pretty hyped there. Brian Battle, man, he's starting to become one of those guys. I told you when he had moved down to welterweight at the time when he had made his announcement that he was moving down that I was like, man, I didn't really like his chances at 185 that much, but man, 170, he's a big dude, man. He's like, 6'3", fighting in at 170? And he seems to have the weight cut under control a little bit more. And man, he's a dog. He goes up there and he gets into little barn burner fights. You know, I remember coming off the Ultimate Fighter, and you know, him winning that, and you know, people really weren't too excited because he didn't really have that fun of a style. But you can see, you know, each fight passes. Brian Battles is getting better and better. You know, better boxing as we go along. He's already got pretty good wrestling for the most part. He works well in the clinch. He's going to be a well-rounded fighter, man. He's still pretty young for the most part too. What is he, like 27? So we don't even have to immediately throw him into the top 15 right now. He can still get a couple more fights, you know, get some experience under his belt and keep getting better, because, you know, I do like the way that he's trending fight style wise. And yeah, his mic skills are another thing too. As you said, calling out the French crowd at, you know, thinking that he was going to lose to a Frenchman and all this stuff, man. So yeah, I'm definitely hyped for Brian Battle to see what he can do moving forward. You know, I think he'll be a fun fighter that everybody's going to be looking out for. Morgan Charrier, kind of what we had expected. But man, that dude gets an absolute pop in Paris, man. I know they said that he was on, well, it's like some reality show that a bunch of people in Paris watched or something like that. I mean, I'm not too familiar with what it was, but yeah, I guess he's just got a super big following, because whenever, and honestly, the Paris crowd in general really showed up and showed out for their fighters. But man, when Morgan Charrier got that knockout, I mean, that crowd, I mean, my ears were pierced, and I was watching it on my phone. Like I just had the speaker on my phone, and dude, my ears were like ringing. I can only imagine how loud it was in that stadium with that French crowd, especially after that nice left hook that Charrier was able to land. And then the last one I'll talk about is Fair Ziem and Matt Frivola. I was a little salty about this because you know, I had actually sent you the bet slip where I'd bet on William Gomi by decision and also straight up. So I actually did the same thing with Fair Ziem. So I bet him straight up, and I bet straight up by decision, and by decision was plus 260. Third round or decision was like plus 150 or something like that. So I ended up taking the money on the by decision, and when he lands that knee and knocks Frivola out, I'm like, oh, Frivola, get up, man, get up. And then no, like that dude, there is absolutely no chance that he's getting up, dude, because he is out like a light. I mean, I was begging, because I was like, dude, I mean, I could have had a pretty decent night on Saturday had that you know, had that fight gone on into the third round, because I thought clearly Fair Ziem would win it. But dude, just an absolutely brutal knee and sick knockout, man. And Fair Ziem is another dude who, since he's came back into the UFC, has for lack of a better term, has really showed his ass since he's been back, man. Couple finishes now, and man, he's looked really good.
Indeed. So with that being said, I'll eat the beans. Our different fights this past weekend were obviously Fares Ziem, Matt Frivola, where I went Matt Frivola, D Rose went Fares Ziem. William Gomi versus Joe Anderson Brito, where I went Joe Anderson Brito, and D Rose went William Gomi. And the last one was, the main event, Renato Moicano versus Benoit Saint-Denis. And I went BSD, and D Rose went Money Moicano. So that's all three this week. I'll get clean swept. We've got, dude, I haven't moved these in a little bit. They're kind of
They're getting a little stiff. Yeah.
This one's got more in it.
The flavor's getting savored in there. That's what it is.
Dude, I don't like the colors in there. Let's give this a turn.
Man, real quick, I was going to say, because I know you said Renato Moicano, like, he's looking unbeatable. Do you think that maybe BSD got pushed a little bit too quick to the top, or do you think it was more of a result that Renato Moicano is just that good?
Dude, is it my hair? But they're like sticking together, dude. It's like they're all clumped up.
They've done it. Yeah, they've done it to me before too. That's why a lot of times if you see me when I'm shaking them up, that's why I shake them up, because they get stuck together like that when they sit together for so long.
Yeah, let me mute this.
Yeah, mine are actually. Worst part is mine are actually a little bit of the same way now. Like they're kind of stuck together a little bit. I guess they've just been down here so long. Just try to test it.
All right, dude. I don't think I've ever had a white one before. I don't like the way that looks.
Hey, I had to imagine that's either dirty dishwater or birthday cake.
All right,
white
I got
one?
4 D-Rose, so I'm gonna put this red one back because
Oh, come on.
I'm not doing that
Come
today.
on.
I'm not doing the bandage today. So I got which one is it?
Boys, you see that? He ducked out on the old bandage, man. Come on.
I don't know which one this one is. It's either barf or peach or
Oh,
God, I don't want
you better hope it ain't that dead fish.
Anyway, dude, these could be the same ones or these could be 2 different ones. Where I'm gonna full screen myself. Hold on. Let's get so we got these 3 colors here. Not looking forward to it. But
Let's go.
there we go. It's like probably Tutti Frutti or dishwater, peach or barf, and then dead fish or strawberry banana smoothie. But it could be 2 of those, so we'll find out. We'll find out.
Man, you better hope it's not that dead fish. That's all I'm telling you.
God,
You better
dude,
hope it's not.
I don't want to do this to begin with.
You saw me almost lose it, and I do
Okay.
not have a weak stomach.
First one. Here we go. God damn it, dude.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. See? Yes.
I think that one's birthday cake, to be honest, but it's not like, dude. I need to get new ones because these have been in my room too long. They're like really like mushy and grainy right now. I don't know if it's been so long.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly how they are with me. That's why it takes me a second to actually taste it.
Yeah. First one was birthday cake, so I got off lucky.
Oh, boo. Get you a nice old fish fillet there.
Oh God, dude. I don't know, dude. It's like these are throwing me off. I don't know if it's peach or barf or dead fish or strawberry banana smoothie. It's these 2 are kind of the same color, but a little bit different.
You probably
And the worst,
so you probably got one of each.
And the worst part about it now is I have the birthday cake flavor all in my mouth, so I'm not going to be able to realize what it is.
So I'm going to imagine the lighter one is the strawberry banana or dead fish, and then the darker one's going to be the peach or barf.
All right. Well, I'm doing this one first. God damn it, dude. I have to put my tongue in it. That's super sour. It's super sour.
Oh, is it peach?
It's the strawberry banana smoothie. I think.
Oh, damn. Damn. Man, I was 2 for 2 with the good ones, man. That's not
that's
cool.
what I get, dude. I don't deserve this because 1, it's a fucking robbery. And 2nd, I didn't even like the fights last week. I had no research on. God, now I'm fucking worried because what are the odds that I get 3 for 3 on the good beans?
Oh gosh. Either barf or peach. What we gonna do?
I'm gonna put it this side because I always choose this side, so I'll be able to tell right away if it's bad or not.
Drum roll. Immediately. Yeah. You were right. You were right. What are the chances that you go 3 for 3? You shouldn't have said anything because you were on a roll.
Damn it, dude. What is that? I don't even know what that is, dude. It's fucking awful, dude.
You shouldn't have said anything. You were on a roll, man. You spoke it into existence.
That's fucking terrible, dude.
Yeah, you spoke that into existence
Dude,
on that one.
What
man. That was rough.
that?
Yeah.
It
probably barf.
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah, it was very likely barf. Very likely. Because that one's bad, man. That one's pretty bad. I don't know. I think that fish might be the worst for me right now, but that barf is no joke.
Dude, no. Dude, I was
It
feeling good.
tastes like a long night.
I was feeling good. I was like, here we go, dude. I'm going 3 for 3 this week.
It wasn't any fun at first. I was like, bro, what is going on, man? We can't keep getting the good ones. So, like, I mean, bless him with 1, okay, but I mean, a clean sweep and you get 3 good ones, man. That's that defeats the purpose.
Well, yeah, says the one talking right now. Like, I clean sweeps you multiple times. You're just like, this one's good. This one's good. That's where Beangate started, because you didn't have a bad bean for like the first 6 months of the year.
Yeah, but the last 4, yes, I have been getting completely vandalized by bad beans.
All right. So, with that being said, now that that's over, thank goodness, let's get into our UFC news and fight announcements segment this week. How did that get on the screen? That's not what we're talking about. I don't know what's happening.
Hey.
I don't know if I was looking at this in my free time or dude, this is just on my screen. I don't know what's delete, exit. I don't know what just happened. No, I'm just
something. Error.
I don't know how this got on my screen. Who was in here? Who was in here?
Chubbs, what have you been doing?
Goodness gracious, Chubbs, what are you doing about my room? What are you doing in my room? Oh, I knew you guys would have. Dave, I'm not looking at that in my free time. That was a joke. I thought you guys would. Thought you guys would enjoy it. With that being said, our news and fight announcements for the week. Our first one we have is Deuce de Guerra, Davidson Figueroa versus Peter Yan. Dude, we haven't seen Peter Yan in a little bit, and they're going to be fighting in China on November 23rd. What's your thoughts on this one, man?
I think it was he fought at the beginning of the year, right, against Song Yadong, but he ended up having torn ACL in that fight, and I think he had the surgery. So I guess it makes sense why he's been out for a little bit. But yeah, man, I actually love this fight. I mean, dude, Davidson's looked absolutely. I mean, not like the killer like he was at 125. But dude, his power has carried so far. A couple times where I mean, he even dropped Cheeto Vera. I mean, first time Cheeto's actually been dropped in a fight. And Peter Yan, we know the crisp boxing, the nice Muay Thai style with the kicks. Man, this is a super good matchup, man. I really like that fight.
Same. I think it should be a rather interesting one. Up next, we got GM3 taking on Rainier de Ritter on UFC Vegas 100.
From one.
Yeah, on my birthday. What's your thoughts on this one, man? I don't know anything about it, dude.
Yeah, I just knew he was from one championship. I believe he's kind of like a grappler as well, just from what I've seen. So, but we know how tough GM3 is as well. So yeah, it should be a good fight. But yeah, GM3, you can never count that dude out, man, because no matter how many times you do, he ends up coming through and getting that GM round 3 sub. So yeah, it should be a good fight.
Been round 2 recently. Here we go. We got a fun one. We've got Manel Cap taking on Bruno Silva. That's going to be added to UFC Tampa December 14th. What's your thoughts on that
one? That's a good fight, and honestly, Manel Cap better be careful because Bruno Silva, as we saw in that last fight against Cody Durden, man, I mean, dude, you have to kill him to get him out of there. And if you don't, dude, he's just going to walk you down and just land just crushing blows until he gets you out of there, man, or at least gets the fight to his advantage. So yeah, that should be a good fight. But yeah, if Bruno Silva's a pretty decent underdog in that fight, I feel like I know who I'm betting on that fight.
Same. Here we go. We got another good one. We got Davey Grant taking on Ramon Tavares. That's also going to be UFC Tampa. So in Ramon Tavares' home state of Florida. Yeah, what's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, Ramon Tavares is the dude from
the Contender Series.
Yeah, because he had the rematch with the dude that he lost to in the
Surrey City.
Yeah. That's what I remembered him from. And yeah, we haven't seen Davey Grant in a while. So yeah, I think that's what you were gonna say. But yeah, it has been a while, man. And but he's kind of one of those dudes who it seems like the older he gets, he might not be championship level, but he just keeps kind of developing his skills and getting better. And his boxing as well as his grappling and all that as well. And the dude's got a, never say die attitude, man. He just goes out there and, when Davey Grant gets in a fight, dude, it's going to be a war. And Ramon Tavares, good striker, it should be, that should be a fun fight.
I agree. Dave, do not do that. It was hard enough to try to find something funny enough that wasn't surrounded by all of those pictures that I could pull up on here, Dave. So I had to go seek out, fight highlights from this past weekend, because if you just Google her name, it's bad, man. It's bad. Like, look at Deros. I'm like, oh.
I was pulling up the fight news. I just got it. I was making sure I was looking at it right here as well.
I gotcha. Anyway, man, what happened? I thought I was going to get the blessing of watching Jamal Hill get snoozed, dude. But instead, we get Volkan Oezdemir versus Carlos Ulberg added to the China card as well, November 23rd. What's your thoughts on that one?
That's a good fight. I mean, it kind of feels like, I guess, kind of like the proper, proper matchmaking for Ulberg, because it did feel like, I don't know. For me personally, I felt like it was too quick of a jump for him to fight Jamal Hill, to where, I think, the Volkan Oezdemir fight, Anthony Smith, those types of guys, kind of in that 5 to 7 range, would kind of be the perfect fight for him before he fights, kind of in that, top 3-4 area. And Volkan Oezdemir, who, he's been on a little bit of a roll himself here lately. Yeah, man, he's always a tough fighter, do no time, goes out there and, good boxing. He's going out there and go for the kill as well. So, man, it's a tough fight for Ulberg. I think he'll be the favorite going into that fight, but not easy by any means, because we know Volkan comes to fight.
Yeah, for sure. And he's at least got a chin on him. We know that.
Good chin and good power too, man. So, I mean, Ulberg, we've seen him get knocked out before. So, you just never know how these fights go. Yeah.
Another one for UFC China, November 23rd. We got Yan Xiaonan taking on Tabitha Ricci. That's a fun one. Kind of a step up for Tabitha Ricci. She looks like she's going to, I guess, make her title run now, though. But taking on Yan Xiaonan in China, not an easy fight. The Chinese crowd's for sure going to be cheering for Yan Xiaonan there. But man, Baby Shark she's just good, man. She's just good. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, she's solid. Baby Shark is definitely solid for sure, but I do think that as you said, feels like a little bit of a high jump for Tabitha Ricci there. I think Yan Xiaonan is going to be the bigger fighter, obviously the better striker. Her takedown defense has gotten better and better as she's came along since that Carla Esparza fight. Yeah, I honestly, I think that's a very tough fight for Tabitha Ricci. And you said it's in China as well.
In Macau.
Yeah, that's that has Yan Xiaonan by decision written all over it, in my opinion.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so move on to the next one, where we got Song Kenan taking on Muslim Salikov, also in China, dude. What's your thoughts on that one?
I would say it must be getting ready to try to stack up that card pretty decent. Yeah, that should be a pretty solid fight. I mean, Song Kenan's looked a little bit better, even though you could say he's had a little bit of favorable matchmaking. He's looked better as of late. I think he's won maybe 3 in a row now. So he looks a little bit better. And Muslim Salikov, we know we got to be careful for that spinning kick to the body that he's got. But at this point, just a little bit older and slower. So, but I think it's actually a well matched fight overall.
Same. Here we go. The returning, newly signed UFC. I'm going to call her a prospect at this point because this chick, she's going to be a problem for this entire division. We got Wang Kong taking on Gabriela Fernandez. That's also on the China card, November 23rd. What's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, no, they are definitely loading up that card, man. And yeah, I think Wang. I don't know. It's just funny saying Wang. Yeah, no, she's absolutely dangerous. We know the resume as far as her being the kickboxer that she beat Valentina Shevchenko in a couple matches, but for her to come in her UFC debut the way she did, I mean, we don't see many women's knockouts like that. Just one punch leaving them stiff like that. And yeah, she's definitely one of those who I think she's jolted a little bit of excitement in this flyweight division. And if she gets a win against Gabrielle Fernandez, the sky's the limit for her.
Yeah, indeed. We got the returning Chase Hooper going to be taking on Clay Guida. That is December 7th, UFC 310. What's your thoughts on that fight, man?
I'm surprised Clay Guida is still fighting, but I mean, I guess he's still competitive in the matchmaking that he's getting. So, you can't be too mad about that. But that should be a pretty easy dub for Chase Hooper. I guess a developmental fight for him.
I guess I just don't understand how you go from Slava Claus to Clay Guida. Who's his manager right now? Why are we going backwards? I guess I don't know.
Well, and I guess too. Look, I mean, for Chase Hooper, look, he's still pretty early on in his career for the most part. He's still young. He's still kind of developing his game a little bit more. So I wouldn't be surprised if, honestly, just as I was kind of saying, developmentally, I think that's why you kind of take a fight like this, because Clay Guida is not going to be an easy guy to take out of there. I couldn't at all, man. But no, Clay Guida is going to be a guy that's going to be hard to get out of there. He's going to be able to match Chase Hooper and a little bit of the grappling and jiu-jitsu. So I do think it's a fight that, should he be favored? Yes, but another notch under his belt, because especially a lightweight, I'm not expecting Chase Hooper to be fighting in the top 10 anytime soon. So I don't think it's a terrible fight to take.
I gotcha. Here we go. We've got Michael Chiesa versus Max Griffin. That is UFC 310. This is going to be, I was going to say, dude, there are three fighters that I swear at a glance look exactly the same. They are Max Griffin, Mike Davis, and Isaac Bulgarian. Dude, if I just look at them real quick, they could fight anywhere from 145 to 170 because they all look the same.
Christian Rodriguez and Josh Van and
dude.
And who was the other one? And Bill Algeo and Billy Quarantillo. I
was watching Embedded earlier. And I was like, why is Paul Craig on Embedded? And then I saw Roman Delize fucking pop up. I'm like, well, they do look exactly the same, so it makes sense.
You just see him from a distance, because I mean, I've done the same thing to plenty of. I don't know if I'd have mistaken Roman Delize for Paul Craig, but yeah, I've definitely mistaken plenty of fighters.
They look the same. Anyway, what's your thoughts on Michael the Maverick Chiesa taking on Max Payne Griffin?
I think that's a one match fight, and looks like Michael Chiesa. I know he said after that Tony fight that he wanted to kind of. I guess he got a little bit motivated after that win and wanted to get back to it and fight a few more fights. And Max Griffin is a guy who's been around for a long time, and he's going to be a tough fight for Michael Chiesa. Good wrestling himself, good boxing. So I think it's a well match fight.
Indeed. We'll move on to the next one of Cyril Gane versus Volkov 2. This was going to be on the Paris card, but it is now rebooked for UFC 310 December 7th. I don't know if I should ask you your thoughts on this one, or if we should just wait till it gets closer and see if it gets pushed back again.
Yeah, it'll probably get pushed back again, but I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be on the Abu Dhabi card coming up at the end of the month, right? Because
I think it was originally on the Paris card, then it got pushed to the Abu Dhabi card, and then now it's pushed again.
Sheesh. Yeah. Yeah, and if that's the case, yeah. I mean, we don't know if this fight's ever going to end up making it to the finish line.
Yeah. Rebooked.
Rebooked.
Yeah.
Rebooked.
It looks like another rebooking because Movsar Evloev was unable to find an opponent for this upcoming weekend. Him and Aljo are rebooked for UFC 310 December 7th. What's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense as the fight to make, and I mean, honestly, Aljo is truly the only dude who has called out Movsar, just because, not that anybody's scared of Movsar, just because that no one wants to get into a boring fight with Movsar, because there's kind of like not a lot to gain versus Aljo. You know, if he beats him, you know, that's a guy that Aljo can say, hey, nobody's beating Movsar, he's a big boogeyman, but I came in and beat him. Former champ, let me get my title shot. So it's the fight that makes sense, in my opinion.
I got you. Here we go. This is a fun one, dude. This is a fun one. It's like, dude, I don't want two good heavyweights fighting each other. Usually it's not fun, and you know, it ends up going to decision with just them cage holding. But this on the other hand, you can inject this into my veins, dude. These are the heavyweights that I love to watch fight. We've got Beast Boy Chris Barnett taking on Junior Tafa after Waldo Cortez Acosta pulls out with a hand injury. So, what's your thoughts on this, man? This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, no, it very well should be. It very well should be a good fun fight, man. We haven't seen Chris Barnett in a while either. A guy who's always delivered, you know, highlights, whether he's won or whether he's lost. Man, I still think back to that Jay Collier fight that he had every now and then, and man, I still kind of just like crack up laughing because he was getting pretty handled there early on in the fight, and then for him to just kind of storm and come back the way he did, and
Dude, the John Vellante fight with the spinning wheel.
Definitely.
What?
Yeah, no, definitely that. But I guess the Jay Collier fight for me just stands out the most, just because I remember I was cheering for Chris Barnett. He started kind of losing, and I was like, "Oh man, it's gonna be over." And then all of a sudden, you know, he kind of had like a Derek Lewis surge and ended up tiring out Jay Collier. And all of a sudden, he just landed big shots, and you're like, "Oh shit!"
Like standing over his back, arms straight, just.
Yeah,
both sides, just
absolutely crazy. And then he just does a little celebration where he does a little front flip and lands on his butt, and you know he's cheering. Yeah, Chris Barnett, I'm glad to see him back, man. You know, both of us are smiling now just thinking about him, man, because yeah, he's super fun to watch. And yeah, we know Junior Tafa, we know how he fights. He's going out there, he ain't going out there to take nobody down. He's going out there to slug with you and try to get a knockout himself. So this should be a fun fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Fun fight. And then we'll get all the recap from this past weekend. I'm surprised that's the picture that they chose. That one? All right.
Really?
Dave would not approve. There we go.
Dave's got one that he can send you.
I know he does. Anyway, here we go. We've got Trey Ogden taking on Thiago Moises. That's going to be UFC's January 11th event. So probably going to be a first fight next year. What's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, no, that should be that's a long time from now to have that. I guess, you know, booked already. You know, because what we're I mean, I guess we're in October now, so it makes sense. But it sounds like a long way away to announce the fight, but that should be a solid fight. Don't know if I'm going to be, you know, making sure I'm at my TV to watch it, but should be good.
Fair enough. And our last one, Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos taking on Nicholas Dalby. 2 D-Rose on UFC Vegas 100 on my birthday, man. Yeah, Nicholas Dalby, you know, I've been a fan of him for a little bit. Picked against them his last 2 fights, dude, and just proved me wrong. And that's why I was a Nicholas Dalby fan for the longest. You're like, you just never picked him, and I always picked him. And then the past 2 fights, I just didn't pick him, and you picked him. and then he's still winning, dude. Nicholas Dalby's still doing that damn thing.
Well, he lost the Renan Fakardinov fight, but but that was a fight. But that was a fight a lot of people thought he won, though.
Yeah,
and
it was a
myself
good
included.
fight still. Yeah, like still a really good fight too. Gonna be out there breathing like crazy, dude. But yeah, what's your thoughts on Zaleski versus Dalby 2? I'm gonna run and grab a soda, and I'll be right back, and we can break down the fights for this upcoming weekend.
I'm just doing the Nicholas Dalby just panting and breathing until you get back. I'm just going to be like, that's what I think about the fight, because that's all Nicholas Dalby is really going to be doing. That's pretty much all he does in his fights, but he just ends up breathing on the opponent so much. Like, they're just like, dude, how is he still here breathing like that? How is he not passed out? You're breathing way too hard. I mean, are you not lightheaded at this point, breathing in and out like that? Like, even doing that now, like, I'm trying to like make sure I'm holding on to my chair so I don't fall over here and pass out. So,
dude, the key is he uses up the air, and his opponent doesn't have any air to use because Nicholas Dalby used it all. So he's just gasping. He's just gasping there. He's like, where's all the air at in here? And then Nicholas Dalby's like, I took it, brother.
There ain't nothing between us but opportunity and air. Yeah.
And there ain't no more air. Oh my goodness.
That's Nicholas Dalby, man. 100%.
Goodness gracious. All right. With that being said, let's get into the fights for this upcoming weekend. Let me share my screen. Make sure there's no more Ailey Perez pictures anywhere. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful when you're playing around with Aileen Perez pictures. Anyway, so with that being said, let's get into it, man. We've got a UFC pay-per-view this weekend, and it's in Salt Lake City, Utah at Elevation, so don't forget it. Fights start this upcoming Saturday at 6 p.m. East Coast time. The prelims will be on at, once again, 6 p.m. Yeah, going to be taking place at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. And we've got 12 fights to go over. It's going to be headlined by one of two title fights. Alex Pereira taking on Khalil Rountree Jr. Our second title fight is the Women's Bantamweight Championship between Raquel Pennington and the Venezuelan Vixen, Juliana Pena. I know D-Rose is going to be going for Rocky there. But in our feature fight of the night, we've got Jose Aldo Jr. taking on Mario Bautista. We've got Kayla Harrison making her second appearance in the UFC cage down at 135, and she's going to be taking on Ketlin Vieira. We do have Roman the Caucasian Dolidze taking on the Trailblazer, Kevin Holland. We've got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson taking on Joaquim Numansa Buckley. We've got Marina Rodriguez taking on Yasmin Lucindo. We've got Ihor Peteria taking on Cesar Almeida. We've got Alexander the Great Ape Hernandez taking on Austin Thud Hubbard. We've got the Cookie Monster, Carla Esparza, taking on the Tiny Tornado, Tisha Pennington. Doesn't sound as cool, but whatever. We've got Ovince St. Preux taking on Superman, Ryan Spann. And the first fight of the night is two of D-Rose's favorite fighters, or has been for a long time. The Dirty Bird, Tim Means, and the guy that's tough as an old leather boot, the Court the Crusher McGee. So that's where we're going to start at, is Court the Crusher McGee taking on Tim Means. Our two fights that fell off of this card were Movsar Evloev versus Aljamain Sterling, and Chris Curtis versus Kevin Holland was going to be on this card as well. So Roman Dolidze stepping in, dude. He's been fighting back and forth at 205 and 185. Kevin Holland been fighting back and forth at 170 and 185. So maybe something to watch out for this weekend. So we'll start here, D-Rose. First fight of the night. Two of your old favorites, the Dirty Bird and the Crusher. So here we go. Tim Means, the Dirty Bird, is 33, 16, and 1 overall out of his last 5 fights. He has lost 4 of them and won 1 of them. His only win is over Andre Fiallo, which, dude, at one point, me and you were both high on Andre Fiallo, and then he was got smoked so many times in a row. We're like, what the hell, dude? What happened? Yeah. Staying too active.
I remember I picked him against Michel Pereira coming in on short notice, and then he went to decision against Michel Pereira, and then he had the couple knockouts in a row, on super short notice. We were like, hell yeah, dude, Andre Fiallo is that dude, and has not looked the same since that Jake Matthews fight. Even outside of the UFC, still getting knocked out, dude. It's absolutely crazy.
Dude, crazy. So, so that's Tim Means. Court McGee, on the other hand, the Crusher, is 21-13 out of his last 5 fights. He has won 2 of them and lost 3 of them. His 2 wins are over Claudio Silva 3 years ago and Ramiz Brahimaj. That was basically 3 years ago as well. Since then, he has got knocked out by Jeremiah Wells, got knocked out by Matt Brown, and then lost a decision to Alex Moreno in a terrible fight, to be honest. Currently, odds for the fight are -198. Tim Means +164 for Court McGee. The over/under on this one is set at 2.5. Over 2.5 is -200. The under 2.5 will +154. Tim Means is 40 years old, 6'2", and a 75-inch reach, while Court McGee is 39 years old, 5'11", and a 75-inch reach. Dude, this might be the oldest combined fight we've ever seen, because that's well over 80 years old if you add them together. Crazy, dude. Yeah, with that being said, dude, I have to go with pretty much just who's looked better over the past few years. And this is one of my reads that I'm pretty confident on this weekend. I'm pretty confident on the once we get the prop, the Tim Means 3 decision. I don't think Tim Means is finishing Court McGee. Court McGee is going to want to just basically hold Tim Means up against the fence, get some takedowns, basically grind on him. But Tim Means is now a high school wrestling coach, and he's been showing that he has got some improved wrestling too. So, yeah, dude, I like that Tim Means is more active and shown that he is, I guess, he's got some fight left in him for the most part, as where Court McGee, dude, you're just getting knocked out by Matt Brown and Jeremiah Wells, which isn't the worst in the world, but that last fight against Alex Moreno.
To be fair, those are some hella power punchers that he ended up getting knocked out by. So
yeah, but then we see the last fight, just Alex Moreno. They both just looked fucking terrible. That fight was just god awful, dude. I was like, why am I watching this? But I went back and I watched it. But yeah, give me Tim Means to win this fight, 3 decision, but Tim Means via decision is my play for this one. How about you, D-Rose?
Yeah, I think there honestly isn't too much more to add to it. I think Tim Means just the more polished striker, and as you said, with his wrestling, he's been getting his prostitute. That's actually not too bad. Or it sounds like the Dirty Bird and the Crusher. Like that definitely sounds like you got the right vibe, Dave, for like the truck stop. That's definitely like the truck stop, like chicken sandwich and burger that you get there. Like that, there's just an absolute gut bomb. And it's the Crusher that's just this giant ass burger, and he got the Dirty Bird, like some super spicy chicken sandwich.
Like you're gonna get it, like you're gonna stop, get it. You're gonna start driving down the road while eating it, and you're not gonna make it 2 stops down the road before you're gonna make another stop to use the bathroom.
Yeah, no, that's one, dude. That's what, dude. If you're eating the Crusher at the truck stop, oh, dude, you better be being seated while and you better be the outside bench closest to the bathroom, because you're gonna be right there in a second, buddy. Let me tell you. But no, I think the same thing as well. Give me Dirty Bird by decision.
All right, all right. So we'll move on to the next fight, which is one that I know you are so ready for, D Rose. We talked about
What
this a
the
few weeks
hell?
ago, and then you were upset. You're like, "Why is this called off?" I was so ready to watch this fight. I was planning my entire night around this fight between Vince St. Preux and Ryan Superman Span.
I
But D
can't wait to
Rose,
bet on this fight.
you know, you don't got to wait too much longer. Here it is. We've got OSP 27-17 overall, taking on Superman Ryan Span 21-10 overall. Out of OSP's last 5 fights, he has lost 3 and won 2. 3 years ago, lost to Jamal Hill. 3 years ago, lost to Tanner Boser. Mauricio Shogun, who has split decision 2 years ago, when that does not feel like 2 years ago, to be honest. Got knocked out by Felipe Lins a year and 7 months ago, and somehow beat Kennedy via split decision 6 months ago. So if this OSP shows up, dude, Ryan Span might be in trouble, dude. But on the other hand, Ryan Span, out of his last 5 fights, he has won 2 and lost 3. He is on a 3-fight loss streak. Knocked out Iwan Kutalaba 2 years ago, then knocked out Dominic Reyes with a quote-unquote power jab a year and 10 months ago. But since then, lost Nikita Krylov by triangle, split decision loss to Anthony Smith, and then got knocked out by Bogdan Guskov, or the Russian Anthony Smith. Currently, odds for this fight are minus 245 for Ryan Span, plus 200 for OSP. The over-under on this one is 1.5. The over 1.5, minus 120. The under 1.5 is minus 110. OSP, 41 years old, 6'3", and an 80-inch reach, while Ryan Span is 33 years old, 6'5", and a 79-inch reach. I'll pass it to you, D Rose. Who you going with, my guy?
Yeah, this is cool. Hard fight to call because for me, I think the reason why for me it's tough to call because we just don't know what OSP we're going to get. Because I mean, if you ask me personally, I mean Ryan Span is a guy who is super athletic, good power. You know, he's got dangerous chokes. But dude, he's got a bad gas tank and he's chinny. And he makes bad decisions a lot when when things don't go his way, you know, pretty quickly. I think OSP is a guy who is smart, you know, calculated. He's still got power. Still kind of had Kennedy, you know, some of the power shots that he was able to land. Kind of had Kennedy second guessing and pretty hesitant. And I do agree with you that if we get that OSP, I think that that Ryan Span could be in trouble. And dude, I mean, I'm sorry. I've never picked Ryan Span before. I mean, you can maybe go back and maybe find one time where I picked him, but I think against Nikita Krylov, I think that's the only time I could really say. Because I was like, well, maybe he just turned a new leaf. And then once he did what he did in that fight, I was like, nah, that's it. You know, Anthony Smith, Bogdan, you know, everybody. Yeah, there's no chance I'm picking Ryan Span. No chance at all. So I'm actually going OSP. Give me OSP. My knockout.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I see it. I have to go Ryan Span just because I feel like Ryan Span should win every moment of this fight as long as it doesn't go past 3 minutes long. And then who knows?
That's the problem. That's the problem.
And
well, dude, even if it doesn't go past 3 minutes, if he gets hit like one good time, like, dude, I swear it happened in the Bogdan fight. It happened in the first Anthony Smith fight. It's happened in times where he's gotten knocked out. Like, dude, when he gets hit, like his reaction is like he has been hit by a bomb. Like, I still remember in the Anthony Smith fight when Anthony Smith like jabbed him and he's like, like his whole face is about to come off. And same thing with Bogdan, man. Like Bogdan, like, you know, he started landing some big shots, and all of a sudden you just see his head just snapping back like a Pez dispenser. Like Ryan Span just has the most cartoonishly funny reactions when he gets punched, man. It's so weird to see.
Johnny Walker, I think, has that, but I think one
thing. Yeah, he has
a
crown, but Ryan Span's a runner-up for sure.
I think one thing that you're just kind of forgetting there is like you're going to need that one OSP to show up, and if that one doesn't, dude, how has OSP looked out of his last 5 fights, dude? It's like who's in there? Dontel Mays or OSP? Like, what's happening? He's just, is he awake? Like, did he just wake up from a nap? Like, what's going on? And if OSP walks in there like he just woke up from a nap, dude, I think Ryan Spann probably finishes him in the first round. So, yeah, we're gonna be split here. We're gonna be split. D Rose on Ovin St. Preux, and I am on Superman Ryan Spann for the first different pick of the night. So we'll move on to the next one, and yeah, another one of the fights that I do have a strong read on this fight. The OSP Ryan Spann, I would not consider that one a strong read because, you know, me and D-Rose split on that one for one. And yeah, we just kind of talked about it. OSP, you know, we kind of need on him to wake up and show up in there. And then Ryan Spann just is ass anything past 3 minutes. So I don't have the strongest read on that last fight. But this one, on the other hand, I do have a read, and I don't understand why these odds are so close, to be honest. But here we go. We've got Cookie Monster Carlos Esparza taking on the Tiny Tornado Tisha Pennington. Cookie Monster Carlos Esparza is 19-7 overall. Out of her last 5 fights, she has 4 wins and 1 loss. But let's do this right here. Out of her last 2 fights, split decision win over Thug Rose Namajunas, and then got rear naked choke crucifixed. Anything Whaley wanted to do to Carlos Esparza, that is what happened a year and 10 months ago. We haven't seen her since. On the other hand, the Tiny Tornado, Tisha Pennington, is 13-7 overall. Out of her last 5 fights, she has won 3 and lost 2. She had a baby not too long ago. In between here, Mackenzie Dern split decision loss, and Tabitha Ricci split decision loss, which that fight wasn't a blowout win for Tabitha Ricci, dude. So
it was super close.
Tisha
It was split for a reason.
Good. Yeah. Tisha looked good in that fight. Currently, odds for this fight plus 150 for Carla Esparza and minus 180 for Tisha Pennington. Over under on this one is 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 660, and under 2.5 is plus 420. For sure going over. But anyway, Carla Esparza is 36 years old. 5'1" and a 63-inch reach, while Tisha Pennington is 35 years old, 5'1" and a 61-inch reach. I guess I'll go this time. Yeah, D-Rose, dude, Tisha looks good still. Like, she's not gun shy. She's not going to stand there and just look at you. She's got excellent takedown defense, and she'll throw volume and pressure, dude. She'll be in your face. She is kind of fighting one of her fellow, I don't want to say teammates because they're not teammates, but they came from the Ultimate Fighter. They've been friends for a long time. They're in this little friend group that I feel like they hang out outside of fighting. And I do know this is Carla Esparza's retirement fight. Tisha knows this is Carla's retirement fight. So I truly think, D-Rose, we're going to get a sparring match out of here. So we're going to get Carla Esparza going in there, trying to take Tisha Torres down. And, you know, I don't think Tisha Torres is going to be taken down so easily this week. I think she's worked greatly on that. Her wife is a champ right now. You know, they got to be in there training together all the time. And both fighters are going to be fighting a girl that wants to take them down. So they're going to be ready for it, dude. And I think we get Tisha Torres just stuffing Carla Esparza's takedowns, and then we get a sparring match on the feet. And I don't have to tell you who I'm going to pick if I say this fight's going to be on the feet the whole time, because you know who's going to win that fight. So yeah, D-Rose, I am going to be picking Tisha Torres to win this fight, or Tisha Pennington to win this fight, and give me Tisha Pennington to win this fight via decision. How about you, D-Rose?
I mean, I want to be careful here because I know you said that if the fight's on the feet, you know who you're choosing, but I would have said the same thing in Carla Esparza versus Rose Namajunas too.
That wasn't a Carla thing. That wasn't a Carla thing. That was a Rose thing. You can't act like that was Carla's going to do that. That's what Carla's going to do. But do you think Tisha? But do you think Tisha does the same thing that Rose does? I don't think Tisha Torres is called the tiny tornado. She's always active and moving in your face. She doesn't fight like that Rose fight. I don't see that happening.
I think Rose is scared of the overhand right of Carla Esparza, man.
Dude, she probably was, dude.
Yeah, that's why she was backing up the whole time. I mean, it only makes sense. You know, she was staying away from the power and Carla Esparza's hands. So, I mean, yeah, and I mean, beat Rose twice, man. You know, ended up scaring her back to the fence, you know, for the whole fight because she didn't want to get hit, man. So, Carla Esparza, dangerous striker. You heard it here first. But I think for Tisha Pennington, it's still weird to say that. It still doesn't even sound right to say that, Tisha Pennington, but we'll rock with it still. But you know, super well rounded, good boxing, good wrestling for the most part, good offensive wrestling. She's got good takedown defense to a certain extent. I do think there are times where I think that's where Mackenzie Dern was able to get her a little bit with some of the trips and stuff that she was able to get. You know, she was kind of able to kind of keep working for the wrestling a little bit and was able to get get some positions on Tisha where she was able to ride out the round. So that is the path for Carla Esparza if she decides to start that chain wrestling there, which she can do. I think that's something that she could do to try to win the fight. But I think coming off 2 years off, Tisha's been pretty active
and getting married.
Yeah. So, and knowing that it's going to be Carla's retirement fight as well, I think she's going to come out with a little bit of energy. But I think there's just going to be so much there emotionally. It's going to be hard for her to really put her foot on the gas. And I think where Tisha is kind of, she's still active, still fighting, and still getting after it, man. So I think win, lose, or draw, I think Tisha's going to be fighting after this as well. So I'm going to go Tisha here, and I'm going to go by decision.
Yeah. All right. Me and you are on the same side. Tisha Torres via decision. I've got a gold select auto flash of Carla Esparza. I don't know what to do with. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could help you out with what to do with that either, man. Good luck, though. Good luck. So we'll move on to the next fight. That is going to be, what is this one? Fuck. Where'd it go? Another one that I feel I don't have the greatest read on this fight, but I feel like it's written in the salt flats or in the salt mountains of Salt Lake City, Utah. Here we've got pull it up here. He says it's like having a superpower that's useless. Yeah, I mean, but that's what happens. Not all the gold out of 10s you get are going to be fantastic fighters. There's probably someone out there that got a Parker Porter 1 of 1 or a Ryan Spann 1 of 1. At least you can say that your fighter was a champion. That's one good way to look at it. So with that being said, we've got the great ape Alexander Hernandez taking on Austin Thud Hubbard. Alexander Hernandez 14-8 out of his last 5 fights. He has won 1 over Jim Miller. In between that, lost to Renato Moicano, lost to Billy Q. After that, lost to Bill Aljo, and then lost a split decision to Damon Jackson 5 months ago. On the other hand, Austin Thud Hubbard got re-signed back to the UFC from the Ultimate Fighter, lost to Kurt Hollowball on the Ultimate Fighter finale, and then came back and did beat Michael Figlak via decision. Alexander Hernandez is 32 years old, 5'9" and a 72-inch reach, while Austin Thud Hubbard is 32 years old, 5'10" and a 71-inch reach. So Austin Hubbard going to be an inch taller, but have a inch reach disadvantage. I think we know that Alexander Hernandez gasses, dude. The recipe for beating Alexander Hernandez is to be tough, to have a gas tank, and to basically be a dog. Just be resilient enough to outlast them and put some pressure on him once he starts the gas. And is that not the Austin Hubbard, what I just described? He's a dog. He's tough. He's got a gas tank, and he's going to grind, dude. And I just think he just grinds out Alexander Hernandez this weekend, man. And so as long as Alexander Hernandez don't knock out Austin Hubbard in the first round, I think the round 2, round 3 props for Austin Hubbard will be live. So yeah, I like the Austin Hubbard 3 or decision if we get that. But currently, odds for the fight are, where is it at? Plus 142 for Austin Hubbard, minus 170 for Alexander Hernandez. The over-under on this one is set at 2.5, minus 220 for the over 2.5. The under 2.5 is plus 170. But yeah, D-Rose, give me Austin Hubbard 3 or decision here. How about you, my guy?
Yeah, I think this is it's a tough fight to kind of call because you see Kurt Hallbaugh get the finish against Austin Hubbard. So I mean, we know Alexander Hernandez can start fast. I know it was a submission, and Alexander Hernandez is more of the knockout guy, but just seeing that Austin Hubbard, traditionally a tough guy, get finished like that, it does make me a little bit hesitant. I don't know if I'm going to go bet too crazy over it, but I do kind of essentially see the fight as you do as well. Austin Hubbard, good chin, good cardio, solid boxing for the most part. His striking isn't outstanding, but he's got the basics and the fundamentals down. And the striking that he does do, the limited boxing, he's good at what he does. Pretty good leg kicks as well. So I think that's something that he can take advantage of with Alexander Hernandez. Alexander Hernandez can let a bomb get him out of there, but if he doesn't, I think Austin Hubbard just basically outdogs him all 3 rounds and gets it done by decision. So yeah, I'll take Austin Hubbard.
Or elevation, D-Rose. You think Alexander Hernandez lasts all 3 rounds at elevation?
Oh man, that's definitely tough to consider. Yeah, especially considering that and Utah's technically higher than what like Denver and all those places would be as well. So it's gonna be a lot of elevation. So that is definitely something to consider. Probably if we're betting, probably gonna do round 3 or decision, just to be safe.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm saying. Austin Hubbard 3 or decision. So it looks like me and D-Rose are on the same side. What's going on, Austin? How you doing tonight, my guy? So we got Dave saying I'm taking Hubbard all day on this one. Yeah, makes sense. So we'll move on to the next fight, which is Ihor Duelist Pereira taking on Cesar Cecina Almeida. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. What just happened? Anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah. So Ihor Pereira is 21-6-0 overall. Out of his last 5 fights, he has won 2 of them and lost 3. He has a win over Mauricio Shogun Hua, a loss to Carlos Alberg, a loss to Hidalgo Balado in a good back and forth fight there. Not going to lie. He does have a win over Robert Broschek 7 months ago and then got backflipped, stomped on his head, and then guillotine choked 4 months ago. On the other hand, Cesar Almeida is 5-1. This fight was on the Contender Series where he got a decision win and didn't look great, to be honest. So in his next fight, I picked Dylan Budka to beat him, where he did knock out Dylan Budka. And then, I picked Roman Kabilov to beat Cesar Almeida in his next fight. I think I picked him to win via round 2 or 3 submission because I thought that's probably what he was going to be going to. But he does get the split decision win there, so he does have a loss now to Roman Kopylov. So we kind of
Roman
know
was hanging on for dear life in the wrestling there in the 3rd round.
Yeah,
he was hanging on for dear life.
He for sure was. They stood him up, which was crazy to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't doing much. Roman was literally just hanging on, just hoping that Cesar didn't get up and land a bomb.
Yeah. Anyway, currently odds for this fight minus 375 for Cesar Almeida, plus 295 for Ihor Pereira. The over/under on this one is 1.5. The over 1.5 minus 105. The under 1.5 is minus 125. We got other props for this one though, D-Rose. I like as a parlay piece for this fight, I like the under 2.5 here. I don't think this fight goes all 3 rounds. That's minus 330. However, I'm going to pass it to you. I'm going to let you make the pick first, my guy.
I think it's a well-matched fight because I do think Ihor Pereira does possess some skills. He's got some good striking. He's got pretty good wrestling. He showed in that Robert Broschek fight that he's got good kicks and stuff as well. But man, if there's one thing that that Eeyore Pereira is very good at. He's very good at getting hit, dude. Like, I mean, he gets hit with some absolute just firecracker shots. Some of the shots that Michelle Pereira was landing on him before he ended up stomping on his head, old Wanderlei Silva style, back in the Pride days. Yeah, I mean, some of the body shots that he was just landing on him. I mean, the way that Carlos Ulberg was able to land on him. I know the Bellato fight was fun, but dude, I mean, Eeyore Pereira, I mean, they were just basically just trading in the pocket back and forth with one another. Cesar Almeida is not one who's going to be standing in there and trading. He's going to be walking you down and looking to land that knockout. And I know Roman Kapilov is, striker first, wrestler second, but as we were saying, I like the way that Cesar Almeida's wrestling defense evolved as that fight went on, because he really had Roman Kapilov fighting for dear life. If Eeyore Pereira does not get this fight on the ground, it's going to be Cesar Almeida all day. And I still think it's Cesar Almeida all day for the most part. I think it might take him a minute in the first round to kind of get his readings and stuff. He might not get the knockout in the first round, but I think I might be looking at maybe round 2 or 3 knockout for Cesar Almeida here. And I like Cesar Almeida by finish here.
Yeah. Currently Cesar Almeida by knockouts minus 225. So can't really play that, but I am also with you, D-Rose. I think Cesar Almeida probably knocks out Eeyore Pereira probably sometime in one of the first 2 rounds. So me and D-Rose both on Cesar Almeida to knock out Eeyore Pereira. So we'll move on to the next fight in another one of my D-Rose. I don't know if it's just me, but over the 3 years of us doing this podcast, has there been like one thing that has stood out about, he's always right about this one thing. Has there been anything that just stands out?
Typically women's fights.
Dude, I don't know why. Women's MMA, I'm good at seeing what's going to happen before it happens, and I don't know why. And this is another one of those fights, D-Rose, and I don't understand these odds. Maybe you can help me out, but I might be loading up on this one this weekend for some WMMA. I know all of you love it, but here we go. We've got Marina Rodriguez taking on Yasmin Lucindo, where Marina Rodriguez is 17-4-2. Yasmin Lucindo is 16-5. Out of Marina Rodriguez's last 5 fights, she has 1-2 and lost 3. Split decision loss to Yan Jiaonan. Amanda Lemos KO a year ago. Lost to Verna via decision. Knocked out Michelle Watterson a year ago, and then lost a split decision to Jessica Andrade 5 months ago. She didn't look great in that fight, I do have to be honest. While Yasmin Lucindo, on the other hand, hasn't had that many fights in the UFC. Yasmin Jaregui, split decision loss. Brogan Walker, unanimous decision win. Polyana Viana, arm triangle win. And Kellyanne Kovalevich, unanimous decision win. Currently, odds for this fight, D-Rose, are Marina Rodriguez plus 160, Yasmin Lucindo minus 192. Marina Rodriguez, 37 years old, 5'6", and a 65-inch reach, while Yasmin Lucindo is 22 years old, 5'3", and a 66-inch reach. Yeah, D-Rose, I don't see how Marina Rodriguez don't win this fight easily by decision, dude, by just doing what Marina Rodriguez does, just being on her bicycle, using that jab, using the front kick, and just skirting around the outside, dude. Yasmin Lucindo is not big, and she chases. She does not cut off the cage well. She chases, and if she can't get you down or land something big on you, which, I mean, you're not Amanda Lemos knocking these chicks out. Like, you didn't knock out Yasmin Jaregui, and, we've seen how that kind of goes from now on. If you're a Brazilian with power, dude, you can lay the knuckles on her. She kind of like wobbled her like a little bit, but didn't really hurt her at all. So, yeah, man, I easily see Marina Rodriguez winning this fight 30-27. So that's where I'm going. Marina Rodriguez via decision. Which way are you going here, man?
Man, I don't know how to feel now because
Marina Rodriguez via decision. Oh, that's Kayla Harrison. Just kidding.
Marina
Rodriguez
I don't know
via decision is currently plus 215. Yeah, dude, that's I almost feel like it's free money, dude. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, Yeah, no, I'm to the point where I actually feel the same way. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So I picked Marina Rodriguez in the last few fights. I picked her in the Andrade fight. That fight was really close, and she was landing some counter shots on Andrade there. I think what really swung it for her was in that second round. Andrade kind of landed like a big punch and like hurt her, but I don't think like Andrade realized it at first, and it was like a weird. I remember it was like a weird like sequence there to where it was kind of like basically what I think won Andrade to fight. But I thought it was a really close fight, and I think the same exact thing. I think Yasmin Lucindo, she's a good fighter, very young. I mean, she's got a lot of fights under her belt, but not a lot of high level experience. Where I think Marina Rodriguez has, fought a lot of the best in terms of strawweight. So yeah, I think Marina Rodriguez is, tested, and yeah, I think she's got all the abilities to win. Good takedown defense, good distance management, good striking. So yeah, give me Marina Rodriguez by decision.
Yeah, the odds here are just throwing me off, dude, because it's getting farther apart from what Tapology says.
Well, it makes you, because you feel one way, and then you look at the odds, and it almost makes you question how you feel. But sometimes you just got to throw those odds away, man, and just be like, nah, that's it's how I feel about the fight. So
yeah, it wouldn't be the first time that I look at the odds makers and I tell them they're wrong to their face.
And cash on, baby.
Fucking bet it, brother. All right, so here we go. Up next, we got a fun fight, and we're gonna move to one that I know what's going to happen here, D Rose, but I'm gonna pretend like I don't have a good read on this fight because I want Wonder Boy to win. So I'm like, oh no, it's like my want for Wonder Boy is creeping into what I know is going to happen here. So with that being said, we got Wonder Boy Stephen Thompson taking on new monster Joaquin Buckley. Wonder Boy is 17-7-1 out of his last 5 fights. He is 1-2 and lost 3. Lastly, lost 9 months ago to Shavkat Rakhmonov. And dude, Shavkat couldn't get Wonder Boy down a little bit. He was kind of struggling, not gonna lie. Yeah, here we go. And then knocked out retired Kevin Holland on the stool a year and 9 months ago. Lost to Bilal Muhammad via decision, lost to Gilbert Burns via decision, and beat Jeff Neal via decision. Numansa Joaquin Buckley, on the other hand, out of his last 5 fights, he has won 4 and lost 1, and they are all within a year and 9 months. Got knocked out by Chris Curtis a year and 9 months ago. Knocked out Andre Fiallo. Alex Morono decision win. Vicente Luque ground and pound win 5 months ago. And then Nursultan Rizboev 4 months ago win via decision. Wonder Boy is 41 years old, 6 foot, and a 75-inch reach, while Joaquin Buckley is 30 years old, 5'10", and a 76-inch reach. Currently, odds for this fight are Wonder Boy plus 185 and Joaquin Buckley minus 225. The over-under on this one is set at 2.5. The over 2.5 is minus 215. The under 2.5 plus 165. Yeah, I really want Wonder Boy to win this fight, dude, but we're not getting the Wonder Boy versus Kevin Holland fight. I have to realize that Joaquin Buckley is going to go out here and try to win this fight, and he's going to do anything that he can to win this fight because he wants to beat the legend that is Wonder Boy. So as much as I hate to say it, dude, as much as I want Wonder Boy to just stuff the takedowns and just start hitting Joaquin Buckley with the 1-2 high kick, unfortunately I just see Joaquin Buckley probably getting a takedown every round and holding Wonder Boy there and just doing enough ground and pound just so they don't get stood up. So unfortunately, give me Joaquin Buckley to win this fight via decision. I'm not going to be betting really on this fight, though, because don't count out that old dog, Wonder Boy Stephen Thompson. But, yeah, Joaquin Buckley via decision for me. How about you, D-Rose?
Yeah, you can never count out Wonder Boy because he has always, for the most part, had pretty good takedown defense. I mean, I know Gilbert and Bilal both took him down and ended up wrestling him for the most part. But, I mean, it took them a little bit to get the fight to the ground, and they were not able to dominate the fight on the ground the way they typically do, because even then, Wonder Boy was still able to provide some type of fight. I think the big thing that, Buckley, I think he's just developed his game a lot more, and you can see it in that Nursultan fight in his last fight. There was a couple of times where he was able to land some big shots against Nursultan, but a guy that was much bigger than him in Nursultan, and he was able to go in there and take him down and honestly kind of have his way with Nursultan on the ground. I mean, I think that was something that I picked Joaquin Buckley going into that fight. I bet on Joaquin Buckley, so I was very confident going into that fight that he was going to win. I didn't think he'd win it in the way that he did. So it just goes to show that he really has been working on his game and getting better. And I do think he ends up using the wrestling a little bit against Wonder Boy here. And it might not be in what might be the most exciting fight. I think it might be a little bit of a slower pace fight if Joaquin Buckley is able to not really get any good ground and pound in there. But Joaquin Buckley's got some pretty nasty ground and pound when he goes to use it, man. And he can make it fun. But yeah, I think Joaquin Buckley here. I think he gets the win.
All right, me and D-Rose both on Numansa Joaquin Buckley via probably decision. So we'll move on to the next fight, which is the Caucasian Roman Dolidze taking on Trailblazer Kevin Holland. Tough one for me, D-Rose, because I'm a fan of both fighters. You know I'm a fan of both fighters, and I just like Kevin Holland down at 170, and I like Roman Dolidze at 185, dude. And yeah, dude, like we've talked about this with other fighters. Like if you've got knockouts and like finishes and shit up at 205 and you move down and you continue to do that, dude, it's kind of a problem for the division, because you can be anyone for the most part, because, dude, 185, dude, everyone's got knockout power, but if you've got 205 knockout power and you bring it down to 185, it's almost like you got this extra little thing that everybody else don't have. And yeah, dude, after the Mikhail Olszejczuk fight, I know me and you were both on Kevin Holland in that fight. Like, just wasn't a lot of good looks for Mikhail coming into that fight. But man, the way that fight played out, it's like that's the first time that I've ever seen Kevin Holland get like literally dropped, dude. He got thumped and he got dropped, and it's just not. It's kind of worrisome, to be honest. And knowing how Roman Dolidze fights, he's a smart fighter. He's got fantastic grappling, and I've been talking about he's just really strong, dude. I will never forget the sweep that he hit on Jack Hermanson, dude. That's a big 185er. Sweeped him, calf sliced him, and just pounded him out from the back, dude. I was like, dude, he might be the best grappler at 185, dude. He's good as shit. And then we know that Kevin Holland can be taken down and just be controlled and it really not have an answer from anything off his back. And I don't think you can hurt Roman Dolidze, as you know, we've seen him fight very good fighters now, and you know they've thumped them, and he's just kind of continued to just walk forward, dude. As much as I like Kevin Holland, you know I like fucking Kevin Holland, I don't think that he's got the power to knock out Roman Dolidze. I don't think anyone's got the power to knock him out. So I just feel like I just don't see a way that Roman Dolidze loses this fight, really, aside from being just outpointed, and that's just not really the way Kevin Holland fights, to be honest. He's not really a point fighter. So yeah, let's go through the stats real quick. I already told you who I was picking, though, but Roman Dolidze is 13-3 overall. His two losses are Marvin Vettori decision loss, Nasruddin Imavov decision loss, and since then beat Anthony Smith 2 months ago, and this one right here was one I was talking about, and then Phil Halls, that was the one me and you cashed out on. I remember he was a dog against Phil Halls. We're like, what the fuck? Yeah, on the other hand, Kevin Holland 26-11. Knocked out Santiago Ponzinibbio, sub over Michael Chiesa, lost the Jack Della via split decision, lost to Michael Page via split decision, and that one 3 months ago where he got knocked down by Mikhail Oshejuk and then armbarred him. Currently, odds for the fight: Roman Dolidze plus 124, Kevin Holland minus 148. Roman Dolidze, 36 years old, 6'2", and a 76-inch reach, while Kevin Holland is 31 years old, 6'3", and an 81-inch reach. Yeah, I've talked about this, I guess, a lot before we really broke it down, but yeah, dude, as I said, I just see Roman Dolidze just being the stronger guy, the one that's going to be putting on the pressure and the one that's going to be winning the grappling exchanges. And truly, if it came down to it, if it got in a slugfest, I'd probably pick Roman Dolidze to win that too. So, yeah, D-Rose, give me Roman Dolidze to win this fight via decision, man. I don't like it because I'm a Trailblazer fan, but I'm a big fan of both fighters, and I'm not going to let my fandom shroud this one. Roman Dolidze via decision for me. How about you?
Yeah, this one, this was a tough fight to call because honestly, I could see it going a little bit of both ways. I could see Roman going in there, getting the takedown, working his way to a submission and basically getting a submission, whether it be, some type of rear naked choke. It does seem to be that whenever Kevin Holland does lose, he does lose by rear naked choke a lot of times. Or I could very well see Kevin Holland, man, the problem is he never fights smart, but if he does, uses his range. I mean, the dude is a sniper, man.
Kevin Holland's got the same fight IQ as Ryan Spann, and I don't want to say it, but dare I say it, Cody Brundage, dude. It's like, what are you doing? Like the fights that he could win, it's like
he's great at range, he's great at range, and he stands in the pocket is the problem. So it's like he throws like these big hooks like in the pocket, and it's clear that he's not like as comfortable doing that, but he's just got such a dog mentality that he just can't help himself. Like he just loves fighting. Like he would rather stand in the pocket and trade a Jack Della Maddalena more than he would kind of, stand at range and kind of use his kicks to, potentially point fight and get a win. But yeah, I think the only thing that's got me a little hesitant on picking Roman is taking the fight on short notice. And I know he took the fight on short notice against Anthony Smith, but taking it on short notice and then turning around and fighting at elevation, where I know Kevin Holland has trained in Denver or Colorado from time to time. So he is used to training in elevation. And I believe I saw a thing where they said he's going out to Utah like a couple of days early just so he can kind of get a little bit more acclimated with the weather versus, Roman coming in on short notice. Yes, he beat Anthony Smith in his last fight, but Anthony Smith also took that fight on short notice. And let's be honest, that was a sparring match for the most part. I don't think Kevin Holland's going to be going in here to spar with him, man. I think Kevin Holland's going to go in here to fight him. And I think the elevation is going to have a lot to do with it, man, especially coming in on short notice. Kind of reminds me of Alex Morono a little bit in his last fight. I believe, I can't remember who he fought now, but he took the fight on short notice. And I was like, yeah, Alex Morono is a better fighter. And then there in the third round, like, dude, he was absolutely dead. And I was like,
Court McGee, dude.
Was it against Court McGee?
That fight was terrible.
Yeah, it was his last fight, man. I can't remember which one it was. I don't think it was Court McGee, but
oh no, it was against Nico Price, dude. That's when it was.
Yeah,
fucking terrible.
Yeah, he completely gassed in the third round because he had nothing left because he ended up taking the fight on such short notice and really didn't have enough time to get prepared. So I think in saying all that, I'm going to pick Kevin Holland. I'm going to pick him by decision. I think that he's going to land the bigger shots. And I think he could even have a chance to maybe hurt Roman here. So let's go Kevin Holland. Not my strongest play. Not going to be playing this in a lot of bets, but give me Kevin Holland here.
All right, me and D-Rose split for the second time tonight. I'm on Roman Dolidze, D-Rose on the Trailblazer, Kevin Holland. So we'll move on to the next fight. That is Kayla Harrison versus Ketlin Vieira. Phenomenal, Ketlin Vieira. Kayla Harrison, 17-1 overall. Only loss is to Larissa Pacheco a year and 10 months ago. And honestly a fight that makes me look at this one different because Ketlen Vieira is a big girl. So is Larissa Pacheco. We'll see. We'll see here. Anyway, Kayla Harrison since then has had one UFC win. Win over Holly Holm. She didn't even finish Aspen Ladd, which is crazy. Ketlen Vieira, on the other hand, 14-3 overall, lost to Yana Santos, beat Misha Tate, beat Holly Holm via split decision, lost to Raquel Pennington via split decision, and beat Pannie Kianzad via decision. Kayla Harrison is 34 years old, 5'8" and a 66-inch reach, while Ketlen Vieira is 33 years old, 5'8" and a 68-inch reach. D-Rose, I'm gonna pass this one to you. I'm gonna let you go first because I might have a hot take on this fight, dude.
Yeah, no, I think it's actually the betting odds are not going to tell you this is a very well-matched fight.
Yeah,
But leave it,
odds. Yeah,
leave it
oh,
to,
sorry. Odds for
yeah,
the
no,
fight are minus 1050 for Kayla Harrison, so minus 1050 and plus 675 for Ketlen Vieira. The over under on this one is 2.5, over 2.5, minus 154, under 2.5 is plus 120. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. So I think so obviously the betting odds are not going to tell you this is a close fight, but this is 100% a pretty tough fight for Kayla Harrison. Ketlen Vieira, she's one that she has no problem going out there and getting in a scrap with you. She's got pretty decent boxing for the most part. She's actually got really good leg kicks, good wrestling herself. She doesn't have like that killer instinct in terms of the finishing ability, but she's super well rounded everywhere, and it's gonna be hard to get her out of there. Kayla Harrison, obviously we know the judo background that she has. Come on, man.
Come on, Dave.
Yeah, come on, man. But yeah, that would be something for sure. But no, Kayla Harrison, obviously the judo background that she's got, the grappling experience. We know she came from PFL. One of the she stacked up a bunch of wins over there and won a few titles over there and everything. I do think I'm going to pick Kayla Harrison by decision. But I'll tell you, it's not an easy fight. It's not an easy fight. Ketlen Vieira has 94% takedown defense, and has she fought anybody like Kayla Harrison? Maybe not. But Kayla Harrison also hasn't fought anybody like Ketlen Vieira, and I think Ketlen Vieira is going to give Kayla Harrison a tough time. But I do think eventually, Kayla Harrison is just a hoss at the end of the day. And she could just be, at a certain point, she's just going to eventually get Ketlen Vieira to the ground. And I think when she does, that's where she can kind of take advantage, similar to Renato Moicano, how he took advantage of BSD last week. All he needed was one takedown to really kind of end that fight. Not saying that Kayla Harrison is going to get the finish, but I think once she gets that takedown, I think she'll eventually suck the will out of Ketlen Vieira and make it a little bit easy for her to soften Ketlen Vieira up as the fight goes, and Kayla Harrison to get the win. So give me Kayla Harrison here, and I think it's going to be by decision.
All right. I'm not going to disagree with you, D-Rose, but I will say this. Do not bet on Kayla Harrison in this fight and expect to win. I don't care how you do it. Don't bet on Kayla Harrison on this fight, because something just tells me, dude, Kayla Harrison is going to struggle getting Ketlen Vieira down. And if she struggles getting her down, we saw what Kayla Harrison looks like when she's a little bit tired and can't get the fight down in the PFL. Larissa Pacheco, we saw what happens when her game plan doesn't work. And Ketlen Vieira is big enough to stop the takedown. She's got solid striking, as you said, good leg kicks. The thing is, when she does get taken down, she just fucking lays there, and she has no urgency to get up. So that's the issue. Kayla Harrison via decision for me. I don't think she even comes close to finishing if I can Ketlen Vieira, because Kelly Vieira stays safe on the ground because she doesn't do anything. She's just going to lay on her back and stay safe. So Kelly Harrison via decision for me. But I will say that I will probably have a Ketlin Vieira via decision bet with just the possibility of Kayla Harrison not getting the takedown. Just Ketlin Vieira just able to stuff the takedown, stay at range, and just pick Kayla Harrison apart for 3 rounds. So for me, what is Ketlin Vieira via decision? Ketlin Vieira via decision is plus 900. I will be taking a shot at that bet this weekend. Going to let you know. I might lose it. We'll probably lose it, but at least I won't be parlaying up Kayla Harrison, and then she ends up losing to Ketlin Vieira. I won't be doing it. So we'll be moving to the featured fight of the night, D-Rose, where we have Jose Jr. Aldo taking on Mario Bautista, and another one that I have a strong read on. Moving from one that, we know what's going to happen there. Kayla Harrison's going to win, but we don't want it to, but it's going to happen. Let's pretend like we don't have a strong read on that one. To moving on to one that I personally do have a strong read on, Mario Bautista, Jose Aldo. So Jose Aldo Jr. is 32-8 overall. Out of his last 5 fights, he has only lost 1 to Merab, your current 135-pound champion, 2 years ago. Since then, he beat Jonathan Martinez 4 months ago, and before his retirement, he beat Rob Font, he beat Pedro Munoz, and Marlon Chita Vera 3 years ago. On the other hand, Mario Bautista is 14-2 overall. Out of his last 5 fights, he has won all 5. Brian Kelleher submission win, Benito Lopez armbar, Guido Canetti rear naked choke, Damon Blackshear unanimous decision win, and Ricky Simone unanimous decision win. Currently, odds for this fight are plus 124 for Jose Aldo and minus 148 for Mario Bautista. Jose Aldo, 38 years old, 5'8" and a 70-inch reach, while Mario Bautista, 31 years old, 5'9" and a 69-inch reach. Yeah, D-Rose, I'm going to keep it short. I am done picking against Jose Aldo, dude. He's still got it. Dude. Like in the Merab fight, I was like, dude, he kind of reminded me of Tyron Woodley. It's just what it was. He was just backing up to the fence, not throwing. I was like, dude, Jose Aldo's done. I remember making this fucking statement. I'm like, damn, Jose's done. But I think at this point, we just know that that's Merab. That's what Merab just does to people, dude. So, yeah, because he's came back and, he's fought Jonathan Martinez, and I picked Jonathan Martinez. I was like, dude, I think he's going to leg kick him. And, dude, Jose Aldo just looked fantastic. And acting like Mario Bautista and Jonathan Martinez isn't kind of the same fighter. Mario Bautista's maybe got a little bit more ground skills, but kind of the same fighter for the most part. So I don't understand why Jose Aldo's the dog here at all. So give me Jose Aldo to win this fight via decision. And for that to happen, Jose Aldo via decision is plus 180. I will be taking I don't know. I honestly will just play him straight up at plus 125, to be honest. Give me Jose Aldo to win via decision for me.
Yeah. No, honestly, I'll do the same thing. I'll keep it short and sweet here. I think Jose is the better boxer, and I just think level of competition, man. Just look at all the people who Jose Aldo has fought up to this point, and I think Mario Bautista, while he is on a good little run himself, this is a guy who has been knocked out by Trevin Jones, and he, when he did have a little bit of a step up, sure, his Corey Sandhagen fight was his UFC debut, but yeah, he got absolutely smoked in that Corey Sandhagen fight, and yeah, I don't see Jose Aldo. Me personally, I just don't see what Mario Bautista does that can really threaten Jose Aldo, because he's not taking Aldo down. I mean, he's just not taking him down. Aldo's takedown defense is lights out. And then I just think Aldo's the better striker, better boxer. So, yeah, give me Jose Aldo by decision.
All right. Me and D-Rose both on Jose Aldo Jr. to win this fight So we'll move on to the co-main event of the evening, where we have Raquel Rocky Pennington taking on the Venezuelan vixen, Juliana Pena. So Raquel Pennington is 16-8 over her last 5 fights. She has won all 5 of her last 5, but it's been over a little bit. 3 years ago, decision win over Pandy Kianzad. Macy Chasson win 2 years ago. Aspen Ladd win. Kellen Vieira split decision win a year and 8 months ago. And then Myra Bueno Silva, where she won the title 8 months ago via unanimous decision win. On the other hand, Juliana Pena is 10-5 overall, where she beat the former flyweight champion of the world, Nico Montano. Don't forget about her. She did lose to Jermaine Durandamy via guillotine. Something crazy happened there. Sarah McMahon. She did rear naked choke Sarah McMahon. And the upset of a lifetime, dude. This is the craziest thing that I've ever personally seen in MMA, where she submitted Amanda Nunes via rear naked choke and then had the rematch 8 months later and lost via decision. Currently, odds for this fight, though, are Raquel Pennington minus 170, Juliana Pena plus 142, the dog. Raquel Pennington is 36 years old, 5'7", and a 67.5-inch reach, while Juliana Pena, the Venezuelan vixen, is 35 years old, 5'6", and a 69-inch reach. D Rose, I will pass it to you first. Who you going with, my guy, and why?
Yeah, I think you already know who I'm going to go with here, man. I just think I think for me personally, Rocky, she is the more active at this point. And I think honestly, just the way that Pena and Pennington match up, I do think that Juliana Pena fights very similar to how Myra Bueno Silva does. Maybe Myra Bueno Silva is more prone to use her elbows and stuff like that. She is a little bit nasty with her strikes and stuff. But I just think in terms of the mentality, just moving forward, constantly wanting to clinch, grapple, dirty box, all this stuff. I think that's exactly how Raquel Pennington wants to fight. Raquel Pennington does not want to fight a fighter like Amanda Nunes, who's going to keep her at range and keep her at the end of her punches. Rocky wants to be inside the pocket, man, and she's going to trade blows with you, go for counter shots, do her boxing as well. And she can make the fight just as grimy and dirty as anybody else can. And that's her preferred method of fighting. And I think Juliana Pena having the time off, sure, she has the inflated ego, as my cat jumps up on my lap again. But I know she has the inflated ego from being the champion, but I don't really know, outside of beating Amanda Nunes, I just don't see what she can do that is going to pose a true threat to Rocky that Rocky hasn't seen before. So I think it's going to look very similar to the Myra Bueno Silva fight here. And I think Rocky gets it done by decision.
All right. We're split here. I am on the other side. I am on the Venezuelan vixen, Juliana Pena. We got a cat fight here, D Rose. We got some animosity back and forth brewing for years now. And I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like when Juliana Pena has this animosity built up over the years, like she did with Amanda Nunes, she comes out there, dude, and she lets that shit loose. She's come out there fucking swinging. Fucking punches, dude. The fucking jab of doom. The jab of doom, dude. But yeah, dude, I just think Juliana's the younger girl. I believe she's more athletic. I think she's more of the athlete. As we're Rocky has solid boxing and solid cage control, but outside of that, I don't think she has anything that's like, oh wow, she's a good fighter. As where Pena's relentless. She will get you to the ground, and she's gonna throw ground and pound, and she's gonna try to get you in a rear naked choke. That's basically the only thing that she does. But I think we just see enough furiosity from Juliana Pena to do enough for 3 rounds to get this decision win. So give me Juliana Pena to win this fight via decision. Going to be boring. Going to be a terrible fight. This is going to be your PBF on the main card, in my opinion, is going to be the
co-main event is the PBF.
The co-main event title fight.
You ain't lying, though.
But yeah, give me Juliana Pena to win this fight via terribly boring grappling decision. But I'm going to be clapping the whole time because, dude, that's another dude. I'm on so many dogs this week that I'm just going to have just a dog parlay, dude. Just like, let's go dogs. Let's go dogs, baby. Yeah, so with that being said, me and D-Rose split on the co-main event. We'll move on to the main event where we have Alex Poatan Pereira taking on the Warhorse Khalil Rountree. That's dumb. I'm just going to call him Khalil Rountree. I'm sorry. I could call him a lot of other things. I could call him a lot of other things, like, you know, the being in a cult, the paying to be one level 175, a lot of other things, being a terrible crybaby that he fakes his emotions on TV, and anytime there's a camera on him, he seems to want to tear up, and, you know, here comes a tear. I could talk about how he fucking, I could call him the eagle puncher because he starts all of his punches like this. Khalil Rountree punching, baby.
That's that Habib style, baby.
Dude, that's Khalil Rountree. I'm getting lightheaded, dude. His punches start fucking way back here, dude.
Which is what makes it more impressive. That's what makes it the more impressive, is that he's doing it like that.
All right, let's get into this. Alex Poatan Pereira is 11-2 overall. His only loss in the UFC is being knocked out by the last style bender, Israel Adesanya, current 205-pound champion, former middleweight champion. Anyway, Khalil Rountree is 13-5 overall. Before, you know, losing to, all of this is after losing to Marcin Prachnio and getting knocked out by Johnny Walker. But since then, knocked out Modestas Bukauskas, knocked out Carl Roberson, split decision win over Dustin Jacoby, where he got fucking head kicked. I don't think he won that fight. Knocked out Chris Dawkins and knocked out Anthony Smith. And then did the, like, calm down, Khalil. Anyway, currently odds for this fight. Maybe I just hate Khalil Rountree.
I could not get that at all. I could not get that at all by the way you've been talking about him. Never thought you hated him.
Yeah. Anyway, Alex Pereira minus 500. Khalil Rountree plus 380. Over under on this one is 1.5. The over 1.5 minus 125. The under 1.5 minus 105. Alex Pereira, 37 years old, 6'4" and an 80-inch reach, while Khalil Rountree, 34 years old, 6'1" and a 65.5-inch reach. D-Rose, maybe anyone from the chat, did anyone, you or the chat, see the Weasels breakdown of why Alex Pereira is going to knock out Khalil Rountree this weekend?
No.
Dude, I'm literally laughing out loud at this YouTube video just because the way he has it paused. This Khalil Rountree's one hand is here and the other hand is here. It's like, dude, you're gonna get fucking knocked out. And I think that one for me is what sold it. Like, I've always knew, like, what does Khalil do wrong when he punches? Because he's knocking people out, but it looks weird. Like, he's winding up, and it's like, dude, you see this dude winding his shit up way back there, and you're still getting hit by it. It just kind of goes to show that if you don't have good defense or good head movement toward hooks, Khalil Rountree is probably going to knock you out, and that's just what it is. But he doesn't throw straight punches at all. He just wings these fucking hooks, and he has no defense at all, dude. If he's putting the pressure on you, you got to watch out. But if you can get Khalil backing up and only throwing hooks at you, Alex should knock Khalil out sometime in the first 2 rounds. So, yeah, I'm going to go Alex Pereira, second round knockout. I just think Khalil's going to wind up for one of these big old hooks, maybe be off balance, and then just get fucking clobbered, dude. So, yeah. Give me a Peloton. Shama no Shama.
Shama.
Yeah, Alex Peloton Pereira knockout for me. Shama. What about you, D-Rest? Which way are you going here, man?
Yeah, no, this is it's a tough fight to call because obviously I'm fans of both the fighters. I know obviously you're not a fan of Khalil, but I did watch Khalil on the Ultimate Fighter as well, so maybe that's why I might be a little more emotionally tied. I felt like I've kind of watched him since then, and
he wasn't in a cult in D-Rose. You do know that him, Jeremy Stevens, Dominic Cruz, one other fighter, they are literally in a cult in Las Vegas. It's like something like the Betterment Society or some shit like that. Occasionally on the fighters post, you'll see them comment, "Congratulations, you're now like fucking level 145. Thank you for all your hard work." And you go to the thing, and it's literally a pyramid scheme cult where you just bring people in, and it's for betterment. But it's really fucking weird, dude. And all three of them are all over that fucking website about fucking being there, dude. It's further emotional, better. It's fucking weird, dude. You should, maybe I'll have to find the video. I'll fucking send it to you, dude. You're like, what the hell?
yeah, you'll definitely have to send it to me because I'm a little out of the loop when it comes to keeping up with the cults and stuff like that. But just in terms of just his fight style, I've always been a fan of Khalil. Obviously we know how dangerous Alex is, man. It's just a hard fight for me to call because I'm a fan of both. But we do have to, but Alex, the way that he's been able to stay active, just constantly fighting and just constantly turning around and just putting on big performances for the UFC too, man. Coming in on short notice, he came in, was it 303 and then 300? So he's headlined what is sorry there, I thought I was going to sneeze there for a second. Headline what was possibly two of the biggest cards of the year so far. I mean, that's been super awesome for Alex Pereira. And again, they didn't have a main event for this card, so they was like, "Hey, Alex Pereira, can you come save us?" And what do you know? He's coming to save the day again. And man, just that left hook is just absolutely money.
Alex by knockouts minus 330. Like,
dude, that's absolutely crazy. You can't even bet the fight at that point. You either got to bet Khalil or just don't bet it, because how else is Alex going to? He's not going to win by decision. We know that now. But man, I just think it's so. Alex Pereira is just so dangerous. But in the wise words of a poet, John Witherspoon, I don't give a damn because I'm gonna go with the dog, baby. In the Warhorse, Khalil Rountree, baby. I'm gonna go.
I can't believe you wasted your fucking hard-earned money on that bullshit shirt, dude.
Dude, I will tell you this.
That's the only sale that shirt has.
Utah is the weirdest card in the world. The last two fights, of course, Usman was the big favorite and ended up getting head kick knocked out. We picked Gaethje against Poirier, but Poirier was the favorite going into that fight. Weird fight, and ended up getting a head kick knockout. Man, Utah is a very weird place, dude, and there's always some weird shit that ends up happening especially to that main event, man. And I don't know. I'm just wondering if the activity for Alex just ends up catching up to him to a certain extent, because UFC has asked a lot of him this year to literally at a last second notice, can you come save all these pay-per-views? I think there's got to be a point to where it's going to eventually take its toll. And then again, these Utah cards, they've managed to produce different results than what the public thinks every single time in these main events. Let's go 3 for 3 here with those weird main event results. Let's go Khalil Rountree head kick knockout.
Dude, he can't wind up the head kick from way back, dude. How is he gonna wind up this fucking head kick? That's what I want.
He's got good head kicks, man. I'm trying to tell you.
All right. So we have 4 different fights on this card, D-Rose. I'm gonna throw one out. And let's throw out OSP and Ryan Spann because that's the one that. Yeah.
Oh, come on! You don't want to put your money on Ryan Spann?
It's more of I like the other 3 better. I'm more confident in the other 3. I think Alex knocks out Khalil. I think Rocky just handles Pena all 5, and then I think Roman Dolidze controls Kevin Holland for the 3
Wait,
rounds,
you mean Pena handles Rocky?
Yeah, whatever. You know what I meant. I picked Juliana Pena in that fight.
Yeah, well, you said you thought Rocky was going to handle Pena, so I was like, wait a minute, don't make it look like I picked Pena because I did not pick Pena.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know what I meant. Dave, are they signed? No, it's some other shit. It's like emotional betterment group or some shit. It's weird, Dave. It's weird. Dave says gross D-Rose. And then that's why I had to take round 1 for plus money. Yeah, D-Rose, I cannot believe you. Dude, that's the first shirt that person has ever sold, and you have it. I'm surprised it's not like autographed by Khalil by being his first shirt sale ever, dude.
I got it from I actually got it from a different website, but it's actually a badass
dude.
shirt,
how are you going to support the fighter and not even get it from the fighter's website? That's fucked.
Because I mean, honestly, a lot of fighters do or don't have websites, I got it for a little bit cheaper.
Yeah,
so let's
well, you know why you got it cheaper? Because it was on sale. Because no one wanted to buy that shit. Because no one likes Khalil Rountree.
Yeah, I wouldn't get that you were a hater. I definitely wouldn't get that you were a hater of Khalil at all.
Oh my goodness. So with that being said, that's pretty much going to be it for the show. We got the podcast play of the week. For me, it is Jose Aldo money line. That's what I'm going to be betting, the plus or minus. I think that's the most solid play because Jose Aldo and over a round and a half.
I've actually already played it.
Fuck. So we're probably not going to win it now. Thanks, D-Rose.
Yep. You're done.
But D-Rose actually been hitting some bets recently on football and stuff. So I think he has broke his curse. So I think we can maybe start listening to D-Rose's bet now.
Hey, and I've been taking some underdogs in UFC too. I've been taking some underdogs in UFC and been hitting. So let's try to keep riding this wave, man.
Over the past 2 weeks, I ain't been doing too good. So I'm hoping this week me and D-Rose have came together. We have collided on a lot of dogs, right? What all dogs are we on together? We are on
Marina Rodriguez, Jose Aldo.
Let's see. We're both on Tim Means. We're both on Tisha Pennington. We're both on Cesar Almeida. We're both on Austin Hubbard as the first dog. We're both on Marina Rodriguez as the second dog.
Austin Hubbard's a dog?
Austin Hubbard's the dog, dude.
I did not know Austin Hubbard was a dog. Wow,
he's the dog.
That's interesting.
Buckley's the favorite. I am on Dolidze as the dog, but you're on Kevin Holland. I mean, I'm going to take that Ketlin Vieira shot. And we're both on Jose Aldo. Pena, I'm on Pena. You're on, so what's our 3 dogs? We got Jose Aldo. We've got Marina Rodriguez and Austin Hubbard. Those 3 together are a plus 1309 right now, dude.
Yeah.
So 10 on that's a 140 back. Yeah, not bad. I'll probably end up making that bet, to be honest, just because that's just 3 dogs that I personally think that those 3 dogs will win. So odds have now changed. Jose Aldo is now minus 120. Yeah. Anyway. So with that being said, that's going to be it for the day. Let's see what y'all got to say before we get out of here. At least try to. Here we go. We've got Dave saying I've been doing exponentially better betting football. Yeah, I'm hoping I can get one this week. Khalil been living at the peak of Salt Lake since he got the call. Probably. And I shouldn't even bet MMA during football season, honestly. That's how I've been feeling over the past few weeks, to be honest. And I don't even like football. I just started betting again at the end of last year, but I send D-Rose these crazy parlays. It's like a 12 leg, and I missed the last leg by like one catch. It's heartbreaking. It's like it just
Yeah, no, it is. It is. It sucks, man. You put them legs together, man, especially when it's just by a few yards. You need like 40 yards rushing, and the guy has like
or
36.
one catch, dude, and he throws it and he drops it. I'm like, oh, you motherfucker.
I had a Tyler Lockett touchdown play, so I played it straight up, and I put it in a parlay with David Montgomery. And, man, they're in the fourth quarter. It's on the last drive for Seattle, too. And Tyler Lockett's wide open in the end zone. And the linebacker ends up jumping up and swatting down the pass, and I could not have had more steam coming from my ears because Tyler Lockett was this close to scoring and didn't get it done. I was pretty salty.
I had a 4-leg for that game, D-Rose. It was David Montgomery to score, Jahmyr Gibbs to score, Amon-Ra St. Brown to score, and Zach Charbonnet to score. Yeah, because I thought he was the fucking starter, but he was playing a lot there at the end. Yeah, but he was playing a lot there at the end, and I was like, oh shit, he might score. He might, and like I forgot if I can one of the other if I can Seahawks like it scored there at the end, and I was like, that was a close one. But calling 3 touchdowns in one game, that's crazy, dude. Why didn't I just bet them straight up? I don't know, dude.
Yeah. Well, David Montgomery would have been minus 145. Yeah. So
same for Gibbs too, though. Like a minus 145.
Yeah, but anybody that for like a touchdown, like that is a good touchdown score, and if it's plus 100 or better, I'm slapping money on it, man. I don't care. It's always worth a shot for those high touchdown scores.
I need to, man. I need to. This weekend for all the fights, I think I'm just going to put 10 on all the fights, on all the props that I like, at least on the solid ones, see how good I can come out. Maybe bet 120 and see how good I can come out with at the end. Anyway, we'll see.
Dave. Touchdown and yards for Nico Collins got me some money last week, so I was right there with you.
There you go. There you go. The same game boost promotion. Yeah.
I did the same
All right,
thing.
you guys. So with that being said, tomorrow I will not be here on the channel. Gonna take tomorrow off. Gonna relax a little bit. And then Friday, we've got UFC Knockout coming out. So anyone that wants to watch me open up the brand new UFC Knockout, I'll be here live Friday. Open up my first box. We'll go through it. I'll give you my live reaction and all of that. And because I'm going to do that Friday, I'm going to change the cheddar to Saturday this week. So probably change the cheddar maybe like noon Saturday, 1 Saturday, something like that. But well before the fight, you guys have plenty of time to get in all your bets and all that. But I will go Hawks. But I will see you guys on Friday for to be opening up some newly released UFC Tops Knockout. So with that being said, if you guys haven't already, hit that thumbs up button for your boys if you don't mind. And anything before we get out of here, D-Rose?
Nah, man, that's a good pod today. And man, let's try to make some money this weekend and have a good time watching some good fights, man.
Yeah, man. I am I don't know. I got a good feeling about this weekend. I think the last Salt Lake City card I ended up winning some money on. I think the 2 places I tend to win money on are England cards and Salt Lake City cards. So I'm hoping this will be that one that I that I can hit another big old parlay on. Y'all be good, and D-Rose burn that shirt. Yeah, I agree. With that being said, we appreciate y'all for stopping by, hanging out with us here tonight. My name is Matt. D-Rose is on that side of the screen. And we will catch you guys next week for the recap and all that. So with that being said, we'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Peace.